Let's get started with our first news. Dana White had one of the most memorable moments of the night during the Zuffa boxing press conference, and it had nothing to do with an upcoming fight announcement. Instead, the UFC CEO became visibly annoyed after a reporter asked a question that immediately caught everyone in the room by surprise. As the promotion prepares for its upcoming event at Madison Square Garden in New York City, the reporter shifted the conversation away from boxing and asked Dana whether New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani had been invited to the event or if he expected the mayor to attend. Dana paused for a brief moment before delivering a short and direct response. "I have no clue, sir." While that answer alone could have ended the exchange, the reporter's question clearly didn't sit well with him. Dana then fired back with a sarcastic remark that instantly changed the atmosphere in the room. He said, "You stood in line to ask me that question." The room reacted immediately as people laughed at the unexpected response. Dana wasn't finished, though. Looking around at the media members waiting for their turn, he continued by asking if anyone had an actual question in the line. His comment made it clear that he wanted the focus to remain on the upcoming Zuffa boxing event, rather than political figures or unrelated topics. The brief exchange quickly spread across social media, with fans sharing clips of Dana's reaction and debating whether the reporter's question was appropriate for a fight promotion press conference. Regardless of where people stood, the moment became one of the most talked about highlights from the event. Dana's blunt personality has always been a major part of his public image, and this latest interaction only reinforced his reputation for giving direct answers and showing little patience for questions he believes have nothing to do with the business at hand. Move on to another news. In the main event of the evening, Du Plessis earned a unanimous decision victory over Kamaru Usman after putting together an impressive performance across all 5 rounds. The judges awarded the fight to Du Plessis, and while the official result was unanimous, the performance immediately sparked a wave of reactions from fighters, analysts, and fans throughout the MMA community. Brendan Allen gave perhaps the shortest response of the night, posting, "DDP sucks. End of story." Meanwhile, Gable Steveson had a much different opinion, saying it was the first time he had ever seen Du Plessis boxing look so crisp. Rafael dos Anjos praised both competitors, calling it a great battle between 2 former champions who left everything inside the cage. Alan Juban also showed respect for Usman, pointing out that at 39 years old, he continued fighting with incredible heart despite being rocked multiple times. He praised Usman's durability, toughness, and championship mindset, saying the former champion refused to quit no matter how difficult the fight became. Luke Thomas agreed with the decision, saying the scorecards were fair, even if Usman disagreed with the outcome. He added that Du Plessis executed one of the smartest and most disciplined game plans of his career, although he believes there are still questions that remain moving forward. The MMA guru was even more emphatic, describing it as a completely dominant performance. According to him, Du Plessis won every round and deserved a 50-45 scorecard. He also admitted he had no idea how Usman managed to survive until the final bell after absorbing so much punishment throughout the contest. Following the fight, Usman remained composed despite the defeat. He admitted that a simple victory might not have earned him a title shot, but he felt a performance like that could keep him in the conversation. Reflecting on the loss, Usman said he still believes he has what it takes to compete at the highest level. He explained that he now plans to reassess everything with his coaches and training partners before deciding where the next opportunity leads him. Move on to another news. Ben Askren's emotional wrestling comeback came to an end tonight at RAF 11 as he suffered a heartbreaking 6-3 loss to Belal Muhammad in what turned out to be the final match of his legendary wrestling career. The contest started well for Askren, who looked sharp early and built a 3-0 lead heading into the final period. It seemed like the former champion was on his way to a memorable victory, but Belal refused to back down. He rallied in the closing moments, scoring 6 unanswered points to complete an incredible comeback and secure the win. Despite the result, the biggest story of the night wasn't the scoreboard. It was the emotional farewell that followed. As the crowd applauded and showed their appreciation, Askren stepped forward to address everyone one final time. Fighting back emotion, he admitted that his lungs were hurting, but explained that it was actually his legs that gave out during the final period. He said they simply would not carry him anymore, making it impossible to keep competing at the level he wanted. Askren then confirmed that this was officially the last time he would ever step onto the wrestling mat as a competitor. He thanked the fans for their support and said he couldn't have imagined a better place to say goodbye. The heartfelt announcement received a huge ovation from everyone in attendance, recognizing everything he has accomplished throughout his remarkable career. He also reflected on the incredibly difficult journey he has faced over the past year. Askren revealed there were moments when life became almost unbearable. He shared that there were times when he couldn't even feed himself, stand up on his own, or make it to the bathroom without assistance. Those challenges tested him physically and mentally in ways he had never experienced before. Even through those struggles, Askren said he woke up every single day thankful to God for giving him another opportunity to keep moving forward. He explained that he made a promise to make the most of every day he was given. That promise meant treating people with kindness, working as hard as possible, and doing everything he could to make a positive difference in the world. Although the comeback ended in defeat, the standing ovation and emotional farewell made it clear that the night was about far more than winning or losing. Askren left the mat with the respect of the wrestling community, grateful for one last opportunity to compete, and thankful for everyone who stood by him throughout his incredible journey. His final message was simple, heartfelt, and unforgettable. He told the crowd that he truly loved them, and those words perfectly closed the final chapter of an extraordinary career. Move on to another news. Colby Covington pulled off one of the biggest surprises of the night at RAF 11, defeating Arman by a score of 5-3 to become the inaugural RAF Cruiserweight Crossover Champion. The victory marked a historic milestone for Colby, while also handing Arman his first defeat in RAF competition. It was a result that very few fans expected heading into the matchup, making the outcome even more impressive. From the opening moments, both competitors pushed a relentless pace, looking to establish control and score early. Arman entered the contest with an undefeated record in RAF and carried the momentum of several dominant performances. Many believed he would continue his winning streak, but Colby had other plans. He stayed composed throughout the match, relied on his experience, and capitalized on key opportunities to build a lead. As the action unfolded, Colby continued to pressure Arman with a disciplined approach. Every exchange became increasingly important, and both athletes battled hard until the final whistle. When the match came to an end, the official score read 5-3 in favor of Colby, confirming one of the most significant victories of his crossover wrestling career. The arena erupted as the referee raised Colby's hand in victory. The announcement made it official, crowning him the first ever RAF Freestyle Cruiserweight Crossover Champion. Fans inside the venue celebrated the unexpected result, while others were left stunned that Arman's unbeaten run had finally come to an end. Following the match, reactions from across the combat sports community quickly began pouring in. One of the most notable came from Bo Nickel, who shared his thoughts on Colby's performance. According to Nickel, Colby actually looked pretty good against Arman, but he also made it clear that he believes there are still levels to the competition. Nickel didn't stop there. He immediately called for his own opportunity at the RAF Crossover Championship, confidently declaring that if fans wanted to witness an absolute massacre, they should give him the next title shot. He described the potential matchup as easy work and made it clear that he believes he would dominate whoever stands across from him. With Colby now holding the RAF Cruiserweight Crossover title and Arman suffering his first loss in the promotion, the division has suddenly become far more interesting. The championship picture has completely changed. New challengers are already stepping forward, and Nickel has wasted no time putting his name into the conversation. After a statement victory like this, all eyes will be on Colby as he prepares for the next chapter of his reign as the inaugural champion. Move on to another news. Before the main event got underway, Islam Makhachev shared his prediction for the middleweight showdown between Kamaru Usman and Du Plessis. Islam explained that he believed Usman made a smart move by moving up in weight. According to him, a victory over Du Plessis would have immediately placed Usman in title contention, especially since Usman already held a previous win over Sean Strickland. Even with that logic, Islam still predicted that Du Plessis would come out on top. He also pointed to Usman's knee issues, suggesting they would become a major factor as the fight progressed. Once the action began, the opening round was fairly cautious, with both fighters taking time to measure distance and study each other's movement. As the round continued, Du Plessis started finding success with clean punches from range, including a solid right hand that landed flush on Usman. The momentum continued in the second round when Du Plessis timed one of Usman's attacks with a brutal knee that visibly wobbled him. Sensing the opportunity, Du Plessis kept the pressure on, landing accurate strikes from the outside. During one exchange, Usman paused and argued that he had been poked in the eye, hoping for a stoppage. However, the referee allowed the fight to continue, and Du Plessis immediately returned to work, controlling the striking exchanges. Round 3 started at a slower pace, but Du Plessis remained in control. Usman attempted multiple takedowns in an effort to change the momentum, yet every attempt was defended successfully. The champion continued dictating the pace while forcing Usman to fight on the outside. The fourth round produced another big moment when Du Plessis landed a powerful kick that once again hurt Usman. Despite being rocked, Usman showed tremendous heart and survived the round. Near the closing seconds, he finally connected with one of his better shots, giving the crowd something to cheer about. In the final round, frustration became more visible as Usman continued arguing with the referee. After absorbing a kick, he claimed he had been struck below the belt, but the officials allowed the action to continue. Once the fight resumed, Du Plessis landed another crushing kick that badly shook Usman and sealed a dominant performance before earning a unanimous decision victory. The MMA community quickly reacted. Brendan Allen dismissed the performance with a blunt comment, while Rafael dos Anjos praised both former champions for delivering an entertaining battle. Alan Juban applauded Usman's toughness. Adam Martin argued the 50-45 scorecard was too wide, despite agreeing Usman lost. And Danny Segura questioned why Usman seemed surprised by the decision after being hurt multiple times. Lewis Simpson also praised Usman's resilience, calling him a true legend for never looking for a way out despite taking heavy damage throughout the fight. Following the event, Dana White also provided an update on Conor's injury. Speaking at the post-fight press conference, Dana confirmed that the injury involves Conor's ACL and admitted that his knee is seriously messed up, offering a concerning update on the former champion's condition. Move on to another news. Aljamain Sterling recently shared his thoughts on Conor's recovery and the possibility of seeing the former UFC champion return to elite competition. Speaking with MMA Fighting, Sterling reflected on his own career and explained why he still believes fighters can come back from serious injuries, even when many people have already written them off. Sterling pointed to his own experience with neck surgery, reminding everyone that there was a time when many believed his career was finished. According to him, plenty of people questioned whether he would ever be able to compete at the highest level again. Instead of listening to the criticism, Sterling stayed focused on his rehabilitation and trusted the recovery process. He recalled that even TJ Dillashaw publicly suggested that neck surgery would be the final chapter of his career. Many believed the operation would permanently prevent him from returning to championship form. However, Sterling proved those doubts wrong. Not only did he make it back to the octagon, but he said he actually felt better after recovering from the procedure. Sterling went on to win a UFC world title, successfully defend the championship multiple times, and continue competing against the best fighters in the division. Looking back on that journey, he believes his story is proof that athletes should never be counted out simply because they undergo a major surgery. Turning his attention back to Conor, Sterling acknowledged that returning against Max Holloway is about as difficult as it gets. He explained that stepping back into the cage after such a significant injury is already a huge challenge, but doing it against one of the toughest opponents in the sport makes the task even more demanding. Even so, Sterling remains optimistic about Conor's chances. He said that everything depends on the choices Conor makes during his recovery. According to Sterling, having fun is perfectly normal, but constantly putting the body through unnecessary punishment or living an unhealthy lifestyle can eventually lead to diminishing returns. He stressed that discipline outside the gym is just as important as the work done inside it. Sterling finished by saying that if Conor stays committed to his rehabilitation, surrounds himself with the right people, and focuses on doing the right things every day, there is no reason he cannot make a successful comeback. Having experienced a similar situation himself, Sterling believes recovery is possible with enough dedication, patience, and hard work. His own career serves as a powerful example that even after major setbacks, champions can return, perform at the highest level, and once again compete with the very best in the sport. Move on to another news. A new matchup has reportedly been added to the UFC schedule, as Gaston Reno reports that Ailin Perez is set to face Norma Dumont at the UFC Fight Night event on September 26th in Las Vegas. The contest is expected to have major implications in the women's bantamweight division, with both fighters looking to strengthen their positions near the top of the rankings. Perez enters the matchup carrying tremendous momentum after putting together an impressive 6-fight winning streak. During that run, she has steadily climbed the bantamweight rankings while continuing to prove that she belongs among the elite contenders in the division. Her most recent appearance came in February, where she earned a unanimous decision victory over Macy Chiasson. That performance further solidified her status as one of the fastest rising names at 135 pounds. On the other side, Dumont will be looking to bounce back after suffering a unanimous decision loss to Jocelyn Edwards in April. That defeat ended her own 6-fight winning streak and temporarily slowed the momentum she had built over the previous several years. Despite the setback, Dumont remains one of the division's most experienced and respected competitors, making this an important opportunity to remind everyone why she has consistently been viewed as a top contender. The matchup carries significant stakes for both athletes. Perez is currently ranked number 4 by the media and could move one step closer to a title opportunity with another statement victory. Dumont, meanwhile, sits at number 2 and knows that a win would immediately re-establish her position among the leading challengers in the division. With both women entering the fight at very different points in their careers, the clash has all the ingredients to become one of the most meaningful bantamweight contests of the year. Perez has youth, confidence, and momentum on her side, while Dumont brings valuable experience and a proven ability to compete against elite opposition. By the time the cage door closes in Las Vegas, one contender could be significantly closer to earning a UFC title shot, while the other may be forced to rebuild once again after a high-stakes showdown.